as well. Two-time Olympic silver medalist.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm Billy, I give these guys the first 5 minutes, and then if they don't come out with better energy, they were 6 of 23 in the first half as the starters. If they don't come out ready to play this third quarter, you got to make a move.
Well, there's Jones going to the rim. He is the first starter for the Bulls in double figures. He's got 10 points, 5 assists. Sexton came out and gave them a little bit of a punch with 12 off the bench.
Well, Trey Jones going to compete. You know, some players just don't do it.
I don't think, I'm with you. I think most players don't really feed into it much. Okoro with a pick. Turnover by Brunson. That's just the third New York turnover in this game. Buzelis.
See, Buzelis was looking for Yabusele to dive to the back.
About touches in the paint and ball reversal. And usually those are things that lead to great looks around the rim. Around the floor, I should say. There's Okoro at the rim.
But again, we talk. How often do we talk about player movement and ball movement?
Of course.
You know, over the last month and a half, the Bulls early this season were getting a lot of basket cuts, a lot of ball movement, and kind of gotten away from that. You don't see the cuts anymore. You don't see guys dive cut and cut hard. Even if you don't get it, you open it up for your teammates.
Bridges taking it all the way, and Buzelis was doing his very best.
Chicago, get ready. Bulls Fest 2026 presented by FootLocker.com today.
I told our crew that I made a mistake. That we should have had the Chipotle Real Difference Maker be Mikal Bridges, because he claims to have eaten Chipotle every day for the last decade.
Well, that's probably why he hasn't missed any games.
Maybe that's the secret, man. Buzelis getting to the cup for the first time.
See, right there, he got there easily.
So a much sharper start to this third quarter. Still a massive deficit to face, but Bulls are 3 for 3. And nobody picks up Robinson. He has just eaten up the Bulls on the glass tonight.
Well, again, know your scouting report. I mean, this guy is a very good offensive rebounder.
He is 7 for 7 from the field. There's Okoro with a chance. Oh, Yabusele trying to cut off the pass to Robinson, that he ends up committing a foul. Brunson putting the moves on Buzelis.
Oh, wow. I'm telling you, for a small guard, he's got some serious post moves.
Yep. Yabusele knifing inside. Good cut by Buzelis, but he got shut off by the defense of Robinson. That was deflected by Okoro. Giddey spins it up ahead for Buzelis, and he slams it in. Bridges quickly flings it down the floor for Hart. And Jones was back there defensively. Bridges into the paint. Buzelis the rebound. On the last two trips, I've heard Grandmaster Flash and then Mortal Kombat. Giddey drives. That's off target. The wide range continues in MSG. Knocked out of the hands of.
Boy, you heard that? Time for some action. They come out with that. Man, that was dope.
It's a great mix of New York hip-hop and the Oregon music. Robinson battling on the glass. You hear multiple Bulls yelling, "Stop ball." Nobody even picked Brunson up until the
they're yelling,
line.
"Step up, step up."
I mean, you're just basically allowing them a free entry to begin their offense. You talked about full court pressure a lot. Teams barely see full court as Yabusele gets grabbed.
In their offense. But if you put a little pressure on them and force them to speed up a little bit, now you take away some of those options.
Well, I mean, you and I have seen how good of a defensive team Detroit is as well.
Nice
drive by Giddey. He gets in there. The Knicks have gotten blown out 3 times by the Pistons this season. And some of those Pistons teams weren't full strength, but they suffocated the Knicks on the defensive end because they wear you down. They don't let you get any rest on either end.
Well, they should have beat.
Once you get about to March, and you start to get closer and closer to April, don't be shocked if you start seeing the game officiated a little bit differently, because that typically takes place at the end of the season.
Being in the top 5.
They had that great hot stretch that got him into the top 5 and got him past teams like Toronto, Orlando,
you had
Philly.
the Trae Young situation. That was a distraction.
Yep.
And then they were able to move him, and then Jalen Johnson ascended as the go-to guy, basically the star of the team. And we saw them in the hotel. They stayed in the same hotel.
Edgecombe. These are all long teams, and the Bulls absolutely do not stack up in terms of length with most of the Eastern Conference right now. They are just smaller. Giddey plays big right there. That's the one difference. Giddey at the point guard position with his size is an anomaly relative to the rest of the conference.
Well, the Bulls the last few years have always had too many guards.
And small guards.
Small guards. And that's always been a problem when it comes against these bigger, stronger teams. Good hustle by Colin Sexton.
Ends up with Sohan, and then Sexton continues to bat.
You got to get size. You got to get bigger. These teams are all big now. The lineups are huge.
Sexton rebounded by Sohan. Sexton continues to just hustle, trying to will this team back into some semblance of competitiveness tonight. It's been all New York. Brunson trying to put the moves on Giddey. Deep in the bag. Left it short, though. Giddey with the defense. Halfway through the third. And interesting thought when you consider the veteran leadership he's given to Philly this year. Zach Collins and Anthony Simons, who the Bulls have on their roster. Zach's going to be a free agent, so is Simons. Who had a nice performance a couple days ago for Detroit. Mitchell Robinson, 7-footer for the Knicks. Kobe White. Robert Williams III, who you and I were big fans of if he can stay healthy.
Those two names right there, Robert Williams in Portland, and also the big kid here in New York, Robinson. Those would be two of my guys on my priority list if I'm doing this, because I need some rim protection. I need some guys that are going to give me some toughness on the inside. Not so much trying to run score as a steal.
Steal by Sohan and the lay-in.
But I'm not looking for guys to give me score. I want guys that can rebound the basketball, give me some toughness, and block shots.
Matisse Thybulle, that might be an interesting wing defender. Mo Wagner, who's forward. Nice pass by Okoro to Giddey there. Maxi Kleba, Luke Kennard, who I think is going to be very sought after as a three-point shooter. Gabe Vincent, Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre's got some length, and then, of course, Ayo Dosunmu.
Because the Bulls team is not, they struggled this year, so you don't get a lot of time to watch him. You're not playing on prime time. You don't get a chance to see him often, even though you got league pass, teams.
And free agency's really changed in this new collective bargaining agreement. Cap space can be used in a lot of different ways, including taking on unwanted salaries or salary dumps in exchange for gathering more assets. You can trade uneven trades and take that money into cap space. You can also sign restricted free agents to painful offer sheets. Now, that's been around, obviously, before this CBA, but that's another way that the Bulls potentially, and I want to emphasize the word potentially, could use this salary cap space. So it's not just the days of unrestricted free agency and chasing guys and Chuck Swirsky landing on Chris Bosh's doorstep at midnight. Times have changed, guys.
In a smart car.
Yeah.
While everybody else pulled up in a limousine.
Chuck pulled up in a Fiat.
Oh, no.
Here is Anunoby, another three. He's knocked down 7 of them tonight. He's got 27 points.
That's who, Anunoby is who you would want to see Patrick Williams be like. Similar build.
I mean, Anunoby is like the loftiest version of Patrick Williams.
Yeah, that's honest, but you see the same build size, the same size. You just you look at him, you go, wow. You remember when he first came in, he wasn't an offensive threat at all. I mean, he was a slasher, dunker, get out on the rim and break. But as far as being a three-point shooter, no, he wasn't. He has really worked himself into being a complete player, two-way player in this game.
OG continues to put it together for the Bulls right around the trade deadline. He'll be a restricted free agent. Walker Kessler, that's been a name that's been bandied about often. Sexton on the nice feed.
Well, he falls into that line. I mean, that rim protection big. He's a proven rim protector in this league. He'd be a guy you seriously have to take a look at, but I would guarantee you that Utah's just not going to let him walk. Because finding a good big, finding a good big who you don't have to run plays for, and he's not going to complain about getting the ball. He's happy with his defense.
Miller, so he will be limited to just 31 points. The Knicks have emptied out their bench to start the fourth quarter. Oh boy, here we go, Kolek. Tyler Kolek in his second year, who once played in a G League game and then later showed up and played in an NBA game. Former Marquette star, he hits a three. Miller drives and misses, so it's Clarkson, Kolek. Mohamed Diawara, who's
I'm telling you what,
been a
keep
really
an eye on
nice
him.
player. I'm a
He's
big
going to
fan
be
of
a
him.
good player for them.
I think he has shown some stuff in his limited time. Rookie out of Paris. So speaking of French basketball, he is another one out of France that is outstanding and has a great reputation.
He has a high motor, athletic, can block shots, rebound the basketball.
So Dillingham, Yabusele, Giddy getting some run. Miller and Williams, another turnover for the Bulls. Here comes Diawara with the Euro step, and he draws a foul. He's out there with Sohan, Clarkson, Kolek, and Jose Alvarado. Grand Theft Alvarado. The rotation play fool you tonight?
No.
Because as you know in the playoffs, it is very situational. Hey, Alvarado, you're coming in. You're going to be my defensive stopper in Game 3. Kevin Herter, we need a three-point shooter. Detroit, you got to come in Game 4, and we might need you to come cold off the bench. You played 6 minutes all series. That's how it works in the playoffs, and all these guys are going to have to be ready.
Well, Alvarado was in the rotation when he first got here.
Yep.
I don't know why. I haven't seen a lot of him since, but I know he was in the rotation.
He started last game just because the injuries.
Oh, that's back-to-back turnovers for Rob Dillingham.
He's a little out of control, and
Wow.
Kolek hits another one.
It might be time to get old Matt.
I want to hear it.
Listen, she don't want to see me. She don't want to we don't need to do a studio
Are
section.
you legitimately out here saying
Yeah.
Natasha Bedingfield does not want this smoke?
No, she don't want to see me in the studio.
She don't want this smoke in the
She don't
studio?
want to see me in the studio. Oh, no.
Kolek, Sohan, ball movement, missed the layup, but a foul. Bulls have gone to
Bring out the best in me.
How different are the octave ranges between the
She
two?
bring out the
maybe
best
not
in me.
maybe not as different as people might think.
Exactly. Understood that. But she looks cool in them.
Yeah, I can respect it. The star. That's how the stars go, man.
Well,
I'm gonna put my. Do you want me to put my sunglasses on for the fourth quarter?
Listen, we might do it. We might need to.
Oh yeah. Well, at times, folks, if you're still watching, I'm sure you've had to shield your eyes with the play of the Bulls tonight. And this has been a dominant Knicks performance. And Josh Hart said it for New York. We're not where we want to be right now. Well, this is a nice tune-up for them. Giddey left it short. He's had a tough night. 3 of 13 for the field, just 6 points. Sohan lost it. Kolek saved it.
But you got to wonder why he's even out there right now.
Yeah, at this, I wonder if it's just to get a little bit of run and maybe get some minutes and get some running in there, but that's how Kolek misses. Another offensive rebound for New York. It's Sohan, Alvarado, Kolek, runner.
Yeah, the Bills going to call timeout.
Well,
Watching videotape, and Rick Brunson did a great job. Somebody just threw a shoe on
yeah,
him.
well, Dillingham lost it, and then they kicked it out of the lane. And now Scott Foster just threw it to the sideline.
Oh, my goodness.
Bulls are playing 4-on-5. Here is Ulbrich with a
Good
nice
post
lay-in.
up.
Good post move. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you see some crazy things.
Here is Alvarado. Went to Christ the King High School here in New York and Queens. Once put up a quadruple double in his high school days.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Modest is out there as well as Giddey.
And Modest taking a three. In and out on that triple attempt. Tipped out to the sideline for Dillingham. Ulbrich, nice fake. Missed it, got it back, lays it in. You got Kolek still out there with Sohan, Diawara, Alvarado, and Pacome Dadier, another Frenchman who was a former teammate of Noah Senge's in Germany. There he is, missing the three. And Sohan tried to save it, but he was out of bounds. It's because of a perfect storm of ejections, disqualifications, and injuries. And Sexton was one of the 3 remaining tied. He ended up scoring 40 that night over at Barclays Center.
Well, how about UConn women going down tonight to South Carolina? They broke their 54-game win streak, 62-48. It wasn't even close.
Dawn Staley gets the best of Gino Auriemma again. What a passing of the torch that's been. Remember, Gino was Dawn's coach when she was coming up at Team USA, and obviously they have basically grown up together in women's basketball, and Dawn is certified as it stands right now. There's a nice finish.
Yeah, they got into it at the end of the game.
There's a little jawing
discussion.
between those two. Yep. They got
it as well.
Lauren Betts and the bigs on that group.
Yes.
That is a really talented. I mean, listen, that has been a talented program for the last 7 or 8 years now. Interesting note on the men's side, we have a possibility if Illinois and Michigan advance to have the first NCAA final on the men's side between conference opponents since your Oklahoma Sooners played Danny Manning and the Miracles, right?
Yeah, and I've been really surprised by that because that was in 1988. And I thought you'd see more. I thought at least it'd be two or three times.
You would think a couple of ACC teams would have squared off in the championship or something.
But, you know, I did not know that there has not been any since our 1988 game between Kansas.
Diarano and Huckporty is in. Ariel Huckporty. You have not been used to many games like this. Ethan Cooperson passes along another great note. The largest loss for the Bulls in series history. They're trying to avoid some dubious history tonight as they trail by 40.
That game is a little bit different. That was when the Monstars took our brain away, and we weren't the real Bulls at that point.
Suddenly you're all laid up at that point.
Yep. But you know what? That was a championship year.
Yeah, so you have nights like that.
So you have nights like that. I mean, you know, but you know, that was a team. Like I said, they felt like they had to have home court advantage to beat us, and you know,
they took it seriously.
We didn't.
Williams inside, nice movement.
There you go, Patrick Williams. Start going inside more.
We have just not seen a whole lot of interior play. It's been a lot of settling for outside shots for Patrick, as we talked about the other night. We looked it up. He has only taken 20 mid-range jumpers all season long. Remember, this was a guy that
used to be a strong point.
That was a really strong suit for Patrick. We were making comparisons to Kawhi Leonard's mid-range game, and obviously when DeMar DeRozan got a hold of Patrick, there was a lot of focus on the mid-range game because of his size and length, and that has just not been a part of his game anymore.
Well, they encourage three-point shooting, you know, and these guys are shooting threes. They would rather have threes than twos, and you know, I just think it's just not efficient to just rely on that part of your game. You've got to get some twos. You've got to balance it out a little bit because you're not making those shots. I mean, the Bulls right now are 9 for 31.
From three,
From three-point line. And most nights it's like that. But that's what we talked about. That's another area that they're going to have to find some shooters. They're going to have to get some shooters out here.
As you said, Josh Giddey is a legitimate weapon if you can use him in some unique ways, but no matter how you want to use him, you have to have shooters around him. If you're going to play this drive and kick style, or even if you try to use him out of some post maneuvering next season, you've got to have shooters no matter.
That's one of the things I think that's keeping him out of the league is being a consistent outside shooter. He does everything else really, really well, but I'd like to see if he can shoot some threes and knock some shots down and be an outside shooter.
Rebound to Ulbrich. He's out there as he gets fouled. They'll go to the line. McClung, Williams. At the NBA level, he's shooting like 20%, 25% from three. At the G League level, he did shoot almost 40%.
I won't even buy into that. It's opportunity and having the confidence to take those shots.
Disregard his NBA numbers.
At the G League level, he's got the green light. He's got confidence to do those shots. But when you come, you know, if you make one mistake or you miss a shot, you're coming out of the game. You can't play that way. But I would really take a good look at him and see what he could do. There's got to be something. And there's Yuki right there. He's another guy. You know, he's another guy you got to take a look at, too. I mean, both these kids can play, man. They can play.